Silverwolf's skill kit, according to the website on Hoyoverse, hyped a lot of people because she seemed to be broken. In Honkai Star Rail, weakness is a very important factor in combat system, but Silverwolf turns the table around by being able to add a weakness to the enemy. She's a quantum nihility character, but for a single target. In this video, we will talk about her traces, how to build her, recommended teams, Eidolons, and finally, whether she's worth it to pull for or not. Hi, my name is Tenha and I make videos on Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact. Without further ado, let's get down to it right away. It is so significant that I need to talk about this before anything else. Whenever she does damage to the enemy, she has a chance for you to add a random bug that either decreases the enemy's attack, defense, or speed. With these in mind, her basic attack becomes just attack to a great debuff skill that gives you skill points. Her basic attack levels does not give extra chance for debuffs, so aside from her doing more damage, unless you build her for sub DPS, you can leave her basic attack level at 1. Her skill is the highlight that everyone is interested in. She drops this retro cube onto the target enemy and adds one weakness from one of your allies' element. She also reduces the damage res to that weakness when you successfully add the weakness. However, when she tries to add a weakness to a target that already has that weakness, this damage res reduction will not happen. She can only add one weakness, and if she uses that skill again and successfully add the weakness again, the most recent weakness will be kept. So, for example, let's say there's a monster that is weak to ice and physical. You successfully add a quantum weakness, and when she uses her skill again, then adds an imaginary weakness, that quantum weakness goes away. You could make her add quantum weakness 100% by making a mono quantum team. 2 element teams could also work, but if you're really unlucky, she could end up spending a lot of skill points and not be able to add the desired weakness to the enemy. Right now, we don't have enough characters to come up with a mono quantum team, so I would say she would really shine once we can accomplish that. Her ultimate is the reason why I really like her. I am a rhythm gamer myself, and seeing her playing rhythm games and her animation and retro feeling is just so perfect. It reduces enemies' defense and damage multipliers on par with Seely's ultimate, which means attack or crit substats from Relics gets more value. Now let's talk about her traces. Her first trace, Generate, will extend her bug's duration for one more turn, and when she breaks the enemy, she has a chance to generate another bug into the enemy. This means effect hit rate is going to be a very important stats for her, so she can consistently land and keep her debuff active. Her next trace is Inject, which will extend her weakness implant for one more turn. With this trace, her skill is going to last as long as Tenya's Benediction, which is really good because you can save more skill points. Her last trace is Side Note. This trace makes it obvious that you want to stack as many debuffs as possible using Silverwolf so she can get the full benefit from all her abilities. E1 allows her to get energy after using her ultimate depending on how many debuffs the enemy has. The maximum amount of energy she can get is 35. This is one of her best Eidolons because it just straight up cuts out her energy cost. Her ult cost is 110 energy, and with this, she only needs 75. She gets more flexibility and then allow you to use attack rope instead of ER rope. If you ever wonder about how many Eidolons you need to go for, this is a very good stopping point. Her E2, when the enemy enters the battle, reduces their effect res by 20%, which is, I would say, also very good to have, because now E2 is allowing you to remove your body. Because E2 basically says do not use effect hit rate body, instead go for crit rate, crit damage. With this, we can say that Eidolons on Silverwolf allows you to build her a better DPS. E3 gives skill level +2 and then talent level +2. E4 makes her ultimate deals additional damage to enemies based on how many debuffs the enemy has. The additional damage is equal to Silverwolf's attack and can deal maximum of 100% of her attack. With the power of E1 and E2, if you remove ER rope and give her attack rope, this is going to be pretty significant when it comes to damage. This is also a good stopping point for Silverwolf. E5 gives you ultimate level 2 and basic attack level 1. And lastly, her E6. This allows you to do so much damage with Silverwolf, assuming that you can put a lot of debuff on the enemy, with a minimal number of effect hit rate. I can see that this could go wrong in the future of Memory of Chaos. If by any chance, Honkai Star Rail decides to put a lot of enemies with high effect res, then her damage output is going to be decreased. Unless you're going to be pulling for 5 copies of Lightcone, I would discourage you to go for E6. Her signature Lightcone at S1, it will give 24% effect hit rate, 12% crit rate, and 12% increased damage. At S5, the effect hit rate becomes 40%, crit rate becomes 20%, and increased damage amount will become 20% instead of 12. Her best F2P option would be before the tutorial mission, which is a Lightcone we can get for free from the event and we can superimpose it to S5. This Lightcone will give a total of 40% effect hit rate, which is the same effect hit rate you will get from her S5 signature Lightcone. On top of that, it also gives you 8 energy regeneration when she attacks defense reduced enemies, which will be so easy for her to maintain. Now, let's talk about her relics. Her best in slot would obviously be Quantum Set. Silverwolf can plant a weakness to the enemy, which means she can abuse the passive from this relic consistently. Like I have mentioned, her multiplier is really high, so in order for you to do some extra damage with her, you need to use Quantum Set. However, it is totally okay for you to go for Musketeer Set because it gives you speed and attack. We also want Silverwolf to be able to land and stack her debuffs, so I recommend you to use the effect hit rate body and speed boots. However, if you can by any chance find a crit rate body that has critical damage and effect hit rate, then you can also use that. But that is if you can stack enough effect hit rate so that you can consistently stack debuffs and be able to do a lot of damage. For the planar ornaments, Pan-Galactic Commercial Enterprise Set is going to be her best in slot because it gives you more effect hit rate and extra attack based on your effect hit rate. You may also use damage related sets as long as you have enough effect hit rate. For the orb, you can use quantum damage bonus if you want her to deal a bit more damage. However, Silverwolf has a low base HP and she's as squishy as Tenha, so if you face a problem where she dies too much, you can also give her HP orb because it can help her survive. And lastly, for the rope, you want to use ER rope to get her ult back faster. Because she doesn't use a lot of her skills, your main source of energy is doing basic attack or getting hit. However, if you don't have ER rope, you may also use attack rope like I have mentioned before. For her team comp, Mono Quantum is still her best team. However, at this moment, that is impossible for us to achieve. Then her second best team would be Double Elemental Team, 2 Quantum and 2 of the same type to give us control over RNG from her skill. By doing this, we will always have the access to 2 characters that can break the enemy's toughness bar. However, we have to keep that in mind that sometimes you want to add a new weakness instead of the existing one, and if you fail to get the right one, then you will end up using a lot of skill points, so this is where people debate on her and say she's not good at the moment, although she has really good kits. As we can see, Silverwolf is a Nihility character who can stack many debuffs and keep them active on the enemy. She now holds the title, the Queen of Debuffs, and it is very likely that she will keep that title for a very long time. It is kind of fitting because she is a hacker who can plant bugs and mess up your system. However, seeing how her best team is still not present at the moment, I can't really recommend you to pull for her at the moment. In the future, when her best team comp is available, then you can pull for Silverwolf. She will be very OP by then because she can brute force any content in the game. So, what do you guys think about Silverwolf so far? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you find this video helpful, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel with a large setting on. And if you have any questions or suggestions, please let me know in the comment section as well. I stream almost daily on twitch.tv/Tenha, so feel free to stop by to hang out and we can have fun together, or you can also check out my Twitter at twitter.com/TenhaTV. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.